Hi, it's Dr. Les, and welcome to another episode of I Bought a Farm. Now what? Today came out to check the heifers and we had our first case of pink eye. And so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about treatment of pink eye, and we've decided to use a dart system to treat this heifer. She's the only one showing signs, and I'll go over the positives and negatives of using a dart system in a little bit. But first, let's go look at the heifer. Heifer with pink eyes, the smaller black heifer right here, G112. She'll look at it, she'll be able to see. She's got a little white mark in the middle of her left eye. And I'll try to get it here on video for you. She's been tearing a little bit. You can see her tearing up. See that little white mark there in the middle of her eye? We're going to try to get this treated. We've been watching them pretty closely, and this is the first sign that we've seen of pink eye. Okay, and it's either light IBR or pink eye. Hopefully you can see the white scar in the middle of her eye there, and she is tearing up, and that's an indication of the first signs of pink eye. And so the first thing we did was we called the veterinarian. Veterinarian recommended that we treat her with Draxxin, and since we don't have facilities here and it would be difficult to get the cattle up, we decided to go ahead and use a dart system to treat this single heifer. So we got the dart and the proper dose from our herd veterinarian, and we are getting ready to dart her, and we'll get this treated. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, girl. So the dart will sit in the animal for, maybe a day. Had a little bit of Vaseline on the end of the dart to help it go in, and we got a perfect shot on the dart. The landowner and did a nice job with that shot placement. We were aiming for the triangle in the neck, and so if we look here, we want to go right in front of the point of the shoulder into the neck area for the shot placement. All right, successful treatment of pink eye in a single heifer, or at least we hope it was. It's Wednesday, October 21st. I came out here today to open up the tobacco patch for the heifers. Some of the electric polywire had been knocked down. We still have problems in the tobacco field with the neighbors' cattle getting over there. So I had to rework some of that fence. Opened that up, came down at the last second just to check on the heifers. because you know, every time I'm out here I want to look. And sure enough, there was that one little scar right in the middle of that heifer's eyes. Her head was down. She was looking a little depressed, a little bit of watering in the eye, and so it was pretty apparent that she was having some issues with pink eye, and thankfully we got it in the early stages of it. And so then we were faced with a couple of decisions. Number one, I could put up a temporary working facility here, but we have some space over here on the other side of the barn and some portable panels, and I could go get a portable chute from the county office here in Woodford County. I could set that up real quick. We could get the heifers in. I could sort off that one heifer, put her through, treat her either with LA 300, LA 200, Draxxin, put a little patch on her eye, something like that. You know, just the normal pink eye treatments. We could do that, or the other option is to get them in, put them in the barn, get a trailer over, load her up, take her over to the neighbors, put her through their chute, give her her shots, and do the same thing, except the only thing different would be that we would haul her over to the neighbors instead of setting up our pens. We'd still have to get her in the barn, so I'd have to set up a catch pen and whatnot. But the third option was to use a pneumo dart, and so it was a pretty easy decision, just to be honest about it. It's easier on the cattle. We just had one to treat. We were in there early, and whether it's perfect or not, it's utilized by probably 70% of the industry today. And so I thought it's a good opportunity to demonstrate how to dart cattle, to treat single cases of pink eye. Works, of course, for foot rot or respiratory or anything. But it just looked like a great opportunity to demonstrate this practice. So then what did we do? Well, first thing we did was we called our herd veterinarian. One of the partners in this venture is a neighboring cattleman, and we have a vet-client relationship because of that partner. And so we called the veterinarian, and he suggested that we use Draxxin. He provided the dart with the proper dose, which I think was 9 cc's is what he ended up going with. Put a little wax on the end of the, not wax, but Vaseline on the end of the needle to help it to stick in, to go in and to stick in. And then we borrowed a dart gun from a neighbor. Came out, I demonstrated to the landowner how to use the dart gun, and so that we could get it on video, he darted the heifer while I videoed. He did an excellent job of placement. We were looking to go right here in the neck, in that muscly part of the neck just in front of the point of the shoulder. Draxxin, we put 10 pumps in the gun, and we did that based upon the owner of the gun's recommendation. He darts cattle quite often, and you know, that heifer is probably a 650-pound heifer. We're going to be within, you know, 10 to 15 feet of her, and you don't want to overcharge them, but you also don't want to undercharge the gun. And he thought 10 pumps was perfect, so we pumped it up 10 times, put the dart in, cocked the gun, took it off safety, and then you saw the landowner successfully dart the animal in the proper area that we were looking for treating. So hopefully this video was useful, and thanks for joining on another episode of I Bought a Farm. Now what?